welcome into the WRMN News. I'm Dennis Green, broadcasting live out of Studio 14 in beautiful downtown Elgin, Illinois. Coming up, suburban educators among the 2026 Regional Teachers of the Year awardees. The village is flying the coop. Schaumburg is closing the barn door on backyard chickens. And the state of Mundelein. Mundelein Mayor Robin Meyer talked about the tourism, public safety, and diversity aspects of the local area. Also, our headline stories of the day. Elgin delays the vote on plastic bag ban. And finding used to fight climate change is revoked. Trump's EPA ends the use of endangerment as a basis for U.S. greenhouse gas regulations. So before we get into that, let's check in with our weather. As we go through the day, it stays mostly sunny and much milder. The high reaches 54 and temperatures will fall back around 28 overnight. Overnight, the skies stay mostly clear and partly cloudy and turns colder again, so watch out for that patchy freezing of any damp area. Saturday, some sun early, then increasing clouds, a high of 55 and a low of 30. Sunday, sunshine and mild as we get ever closer to that 60-degree mark, with a high of 58 and a low of 36. This is where Monday comes in to steal the limelight. Warm with times of clouds and sun, breezy in the afternoon on Monday, with a whopping high of 61 and a low of 33. Tuesday starts to get a little bit colder as we drop below those 50s in there. Honoring Aurora victims, Aurora will host a wreath-laying ceremony at 1 p.m. Sunday, February 15th, to mark the 7th anniversary of the mass shooting at the Henry Pratt Company. 5 Pratt workers were killed: Clayton Parks, Josh Pinkard, Russell Byer, Vinci Juarez, and Trevor Werner. A 21-year-old just starting his internship in human resources. 5 police officers were also injured. The ceremony remembering their lives will take place inside Aurora City Hall at 44 East Downers Place. And Palatine Street is being resurfaced. The Palatine Village Council this week awarded a $2.9 million contract to Builders Paving LLC of Hillside for this year's street resurfacing program. That's 18.1% below the $3.6 million budgeted. Officials said 6 bids were received for the work, which will cover 39 sections and nearly 6 miles of street. Work will include inlet repairs, sidewalk replacement for ADA accessible ramps, and curb and gutter replacement. Major funding for the program comes from the state motor fuel tax. When we come back, Village is flying the coop. Schaumburg is closing the barn door on backyard chickens. Also, suburban educators among the 2026 Regional Teachers of the Year here on WRMN.
Here on WRMN AM 1410, we like to keep you informed and in tune to what's happening here in the Fox River Valley and what's going on here on WRMN. We recognize the importance of local radio to be a part of the conversation and to be a part of the community for the community.
You know, we talked about the importance of community theater, but supporting community radio is a big deal too. And, you know, for WRMN, this is a really cool thing that you guys do every day, and a really important thing. You have to have a local media outlet to talk about what's going on in your town. So you guys do a nice job.
Tune in to AM 1410, WRMN. Don't forget, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/WRMN Radio. Keep in tune and informed on what's happening here in the Fox River Valley, right here on WRMN.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough. But if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
To the WRMN News, I'm Dennis Green, broadcasting live out of Studio 14 here in downtown Elgin. Our next story comes from Shaw Local, written by Janelle Walker. A two-vehicle crash at Sun City Huntley prompts a water rescue call. The Huntley Fire Protection District and Huntley Police responded to a crash Thursday morning that left one car on the edge of a pond, necessitating a water rescue call. Emergency crews were called about 9:45 p.m. to the West River Park Drive and Del Webb Boulevard inside Sun City Huntley, where they found the two-vehicle crash. Public Information Officer Alec Vuka said, "One of the vehicles, a hatchback, was just off the roadway. The second, an SUV, had gone down a hill and came to rest near a pond. The SUV's back end rested on the culvert, and the front end was in ankle-deep water. Both vehicles sustained heavy damage as a result of the crash," Vuka said, adding that both vehicles were occupied by elderly female drivers. The driver of the vehicle in the pond required only minor extraction from the SUV. Both women were evaluated on scene by paramedics and taken to a local hospital with injuries described as minor to moderate. The injuries were not considered life-threatening, Vuka said. Huntley police are investigating the crash. A Lisle man is facing felony charge after firing a gun about half a mile from a police station. A man was arrested Wednesday night after firing multiple rounds from a handgun close enough to the Lisle Police Department that officers heard the gunfire. Heath Earl Tamalia, 55, of Lisle, was charged with felony possession of a firearm without a firearms owner's identification card and misdemeanor reckless conduct. Lisle police said in a news release that officers heard multiple bursts of gunfire coming from an area north of the department at about 9:15 p.m. on February 11th. The police determined the gunfire originated near a detached garage in the 4500 block of River Drive, where two men were taken into custody. The investigation revealed that the firearms were not discharged by any person, but that the actions posed a serious risk to public safety. Officers recovered 2 handguns, ammunition, and 21 spent shell casings from the scene. DuPage County prosecutors asked to have Tamalia detained pre-trial, but a judge released him Thursday morning, according to court records. Anyone with additional information is asked to call Lisle Police Department Investigations Division at 630-271-4200. When we come back, we'll check in with Schaumburg as they're closing the barn doors on a backyard chickens. Also, suburban educators are among the 2026 Regional Teachers of the Year awardees. And Kane's state attorney to review Aurora police actions during the student walkout. Stick around, we've got more WRMN news coming up after this.
Looking to set sail on your dream vacation? Cruises International has you covered. Specializing in land and sea getaways, they're here to make your vacation unforgettable. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, they offer personalized service with a global network of specialists to ensure your trip is tailor-made just for you. Call today at 800-255-7447 to speak with a cruise and vacation expert. And don't miss Travel Tuesdays on WRMN AM 1410 every first Tuesday of the month from 11 to 12 p.m. on Out to Lunch. That's Cruises International. Your vacation, your way.
Building a house is hard, but have you tried removing one? Flood Brothers takes the mess out of demolition. With fast roll-off dumpster delivery, reliable debris pickup, and a family-owned team that takes service personally. Call 630-261-0400 or visit floodbrothersdisposal.com. Flood Brothers Disposal, proud sponsor of America's First Responders Fest.
Hey Bear fans, want your business heard during every heart-pounding moment of the game? WRMN 1410 is now offering in-game ad spots for Chicago Bears broadcasts. Be part of the action as thousands of die-hard listeners tune in each week. Whether it's a touchdown, a turnover, or a timeout, your message will be right there in the mix. Spots are limited and going fast. Call WRMN 1410 today and score big with in-game advertising that delivers results. WRMN 1410, where Chicago comes to play. Get in the game with the Chicago Bears and WRMN.
Finding a reputable business shouldn't require luck or chance. But how can you tell who you can trust? Pro tip, the BBB connects people with businesses they can trust. So think of the BBB as the better, check with the BBB first, because better businesses are honest and commit to high ethical standards bureau. That's why they're better. Always look for the sign of a better business and find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Welcome back to the WRMN News. An update from the Olympics comes from this morning. The United States already has 4 gold, 7 silver, and 3 bronze. Today's competitions are the U.S. men's hockey team rolls over Latvia 5-1, while Canada shuts out Chechnya 5-0. Follow the Winter Olympics as it goes on. We'll head into one of our headline stories for today, written by Rick West of the Daily Herald. Elgin delays a vote on a plastic bag ban. The city council to take up the issue on the February 25th meeting. Elgin City Council members have postponed a vote on a proposed plastic shopping bag ban to give business owners opposed to the idea the opportunity to attend a meeting and voice their opinions in person. The proposed ordinance would ban single-use plastic checkout bags at larger retailers and place a 10-cent fee on paper bags at checkout. Originally, the city informed stakeholders that the issue would be on the February 25th City Council agenda, but the vote got moved up to Wednesday night's meeting. Elgin Development Group Director Tony Lucinko said he reached out to business owners who were concerned about the fees, but most were unable to attend this week's council meeting. Lucinko said, quote, "I would respectfully request that this be deferred until the next meeting so that we could bring to the table those people who are expressing their interest in not seeing this go forward." The council voted 6-3 to delay the issue until February 25th. Council members Corey Dixon, Trish Powell, and John Steffen opposed the delay. While the city has considered action on bag fees or ban for about 9 years, the Sustainability Commission last brought the issue to the City Council in April of 2025. The council in turn directed city staff to draft an ordinance that mirrors an Illinois state bill introduced by State Senator Christina Castro of Elgin. If passed, SB 1872 would prohibit retailers from offering single-use bags to consumers starting in 2029. Staff from the city and Elgin Development Group identified 42 Elgin-based retailers that could be banned from supplying single-use plastic bags to their customers at checkout under the proposed municipal ordinance. It would exempt restaurants, gas stations, convenience stores, and, quote, small retail mercantile establishments, unquote, from the single-use plastic ban. Under the proposal, retailers would be allowed to offer a recycled paper bag for 10 cents, with the fee being retained by the retailer. SNAP, WIC, and similar food assistance program recipients would be exempt from paying the fee. A community survey conducted from October through December found a majority of respondents in opposition to the ordinance, said Christine Eifner, the city's sustainability manager. According to the survey, 52% of the 2,185 respondents opposed to the ordinance, 38% approved, and 5% answered that they need more information. Read more about it at the Daily Herald. You can find them at thedailyherald.com. That is the best place to go to learn about how you can get your e-edition sent to you or how you can get the paper delivered directly to your door. Village is flying the coop. Schaumburg is closing the barn door on backyard chickens. We'll read this before we go to break. Failed permit bids this week by 2 Schaumburg residents hoping to keep backyard chickens have led village board members to cusp of eliminating the practice from town. Schaumburg Mayor Tom Daly said, quote, "I personally just am not interested in having chickens in residential neighborhoods, regardless of the size of the property, and I don't feel there's a need for this to be done in residential neighborhoods anymore." After a brief discussion Tuesday, trustees unanimously referred to the issue to their Planning, Building, and Development Committee. The panel is recommended removing the special use permits from the zoning code. In seeking a permit, applicant Kazim Hassan invoked the village's agricultural history, which is reflected in artwork on public display. Even larger cities like Chicago and Elgin permit backyard chickens, he added. Hussein proposed to keep 6 hens on his family's 16,750 square foot property on Plymouth Lane had been recommended for approval by both village staff and the Plan Commission. But trustees made it clear they see Schaumburg's agricultural history as something best honored by the Park District's Vulcan Heritage Farm and at Spring Valley Nature Center. Trustee Mark Medej said, quote, I do have to concur with the mayor that Schaumburg is more of an urban residential type of community and not agricultural anymore. Also denied Tuesday were owners of a 9,000 square foot property on Apple Drive who had been keeping 10 hens and 2 ducks for the past 2 years. Village staff believed the property isn't large enough or sufficiently isolated from neighbors. There's only one active permit in the village, granted in 2023, to keep 6 chickens and a duck on a 26,900 square foot property among Pleasant Drive. That permit would likely be grandfathered in for that particular homeowner, even if trustees permanently deny the option to anyone else, Daly said. Only one other home in Schaumburg has ever been issued a permit. This was approved in 1993 for a 20,300 square foot lot on Wakefield Lane, where chickens had been kept for 18 years by then. The permit expired when the homeowner stopped keeping chickens in 2008. Head on over to the Daily Herald, where you can read that story by Eric Peterson. Make sure that you also head on over to WRMN1410.com, where you'll be able to find more information about how you can stay informed here about all the different happenings at the station and learn a little bit about some of the shows that you listen to. There's a few different ways for you to interact with WRMN. You can always send us a text message 24 hours a day at 505-926-1410. That's 505-926-1410. Send over any pictures of breaking news or maybe some pictures of those great fur babies you've got running around. We'll take it just like any other friend. Also, send over any news articles that you've got to news@WRMN1410.com. We'll highlight you and make sure that that news gets sent out to the community. You've been listening to WRMN News. I'm Dennis Green. We'll be right back with Suburban Educators among the 2026 Regional Teachers of the Year awardees. And we've got more news here from the local Fox River Valley. You're listening to WRMN.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby, brought to you by Rain-X. Illinois will soon require lenders to use a digital system for vehicle titles. Officials say the change will speed processing, reduce delays, and improve fraud protection by replacing paper titles with electronic records. Illinois lawmakers are considering a bill to set statewide standards for school panic alert systems. The proposal would require technology allowing staff to instantly notify police during emergencies. Known as Alyssa's Alert, similar systems are already used in several states following the 2018 Parkland school shooting. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul is suing to block a plan to cut public health funding to Illinois and 3 other states. The Trump administration intends to rescind about $600 million, including grants for HIV and disease prevention programs. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom. If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
For nearly 50 years, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council and Kane Senior Council have been dedicated to serving seniors in DuPage and Kane counties. Established in 1975, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council is a volunteer-driven 501c3 non-for-profit organization committed to helping older adults live with dignity. From providing nutritious meals to offering support services, the Kane Senior Council is there every step of the way. With programs designed to enhance independence and quality of life, they're proud to make a difference in the lives of their senior neighbors. To learn more or to volunteer, visit them at 418B Airport Road in Elgin or head to their website at caneseniorcouncil.org. Give them a call at 630-338-0999. That's 630-338-0999. That's the Kane Senior Council, caring for seniors because they deserve to live with dignity and respect. Visit caneseniorcouncil.org or call 630-338-0999 today.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blade. Today, sunny with a high near 50. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 30. Looking ahead to Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 51. Saturday night brings mostly cloudy skies with a low around 33. Currently, it's 33 and partly cloudy. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Welcome into the WRMN News. I'm Dennis Green. Coming up, suburban educators among the 2026 Regional Teacher of the Year awardees. And Kane State's attorney to review the Aurora police actions during student walkouts. But before we get to that, let's check in with our weather. Right here in Elgin, and of course, right outside Studio 14, we've got a mostly sunny skies and much milder today with the high reaches of 54 and temperatures falling back around 28 overnight. Overnight skies stay mostly clear and partly cloudy as it turns colder again, so watch out for patchy freezing of anything that is damp. A fantastic weekend is ahead of us with a high of 55 on Saturday and an even higher high on Sunday with 58. Monday, warm with times of clouds, and by warm, I mean we finally crest that 61 with our high and a low of 33. Tuesday, the low comes in below 50 as maybe some of that cold air returns to the region. Mundelein Mayor Robin Meyer talked about tourism, public safety, diversity, and other aspects of local life during her first State of the Village presentation this week. The village's arts scene, economic development, local infrastructure were among other topics discussed. The video of Meyer's nearly hour-long presentation can be found on the village's website at mundaline.org. The speech has been an annual tradition started by Meyer's predecessor, Steve Lentz. Meyer was elected mayor last year after Lentz chose not to seek re-election. Before we go, let's check in with the Kane State's Attorney is reviewing Aurora police actions during student walkout. Kane County State's Attorney Office said that it will conduct an independent review of the actions by the Aurora Police Department following claims of excessive force used against students during a coordinated walkout on Monday. The review comes following accusations of, quote, police brutality by State Senator Katrina Villa during an altercation between officers and teens that ended with the arrest of 3 East Aurora High School students during a walkout protesting federal immigration tactics. About 1,500 students from Aurora area high schools walked to the downtown area and City Hall. Videos of a skirmish between officers and protesters have caused some, including Villa, to question the police tactics. Villa said in a statement, quote, "The videos circulating of minors being restrained and handled like criminals in front of their peers are deeply disturbing and unacceptable. Police officers are responsible for protecting every member of our community, especially children," unquote. 3 students were charged with improper walking in the roadway, obstructing and resisting a peace officer. One was also charged with aggravated battery to a police officer. In a news release, the state's attorney's office said it had received a body-worn camera footage, reports, and related evidence from the police. The statement read, quote, "A comprehensive review of all available materials will be undertaken to determine whether the actions taken were consistent with department policy, established training, and the applicable law. Results of the review will be released to the department and the public." When we come back, we've got the Communications and Engagement Manager of the city of Elgin, Josie Beecher-Crotty, put out a press release about the city advancing downtown redevelopment at 61 and 65 South Grove Avenue. And suburban teachers are our headline of today. They've been among the 2026 Regional Teacher of the Year awardees. You're listening to WRMN News, broadcast live out of Studio 14. I'm Dennis Green. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, this is Sherry Aschenbrenner, Vice President of Dementia Friendly Elgin Area. Everyone knows somebody living with dementia. Caregivers and friends of those with dementia are always welcome at our Elgin Area Memory Cafe, always the second Tuesday of every month at 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at the South Elgin Public Works Building, 1000 Bowes Road in South Elgin. Also, Dementia Friendly Elgin Area gives free 20-minute dementia awareness trainings to local businesses, church groups, to bunco groups. Just invite us. If you'd like to get put on Sherry's senior email blast list, please email us at dfelist@gmail.com. Also, you can go and visit our website at dementiafriendlyelginarea.org.
Tune in to Sherry's Senior Moments radio show on the second Thursday of each month at 9:05 a.m. until 10 a.m. on WRMN AM 1410, WRMN Radio app, or WRMN Radio on YouTube. That's Sherry's Senior Moments, providing resources and information for our seniors in the community.
I'm Danielle Penman, a registered nurse, conservative Republican, and longtime resident of St. Charles running for state senator. I'm focused on cutting taxes, supporting law enforcement, and holding Springfield accountable. Because Illinois families deserve better.
Paid for by Friends for Danielle Penman.
They were best friends, inseparable, in fact, until the day Miguel died. Every day his friend visited Miguel's grave. Rain, wind, weekends, holidays, every day. Miguel's closest friend, Capitan, his German Shepherd, is a symbol of loyalty to which we can all aspire. Loyalty. Pass it on from passiton.com.
This comes from the city of Elgin. Welcome back to the WRMN News. I'm Dennis Green. We've got a new press release that came out today from the city of Elgin. This comes from the Communications and Engagement Manager, Josie Beecher-Crotty. You can send her a message at josie.beecher-crotty@elginil.gov or visit elginil.gov for the latest information about the city of Elgin. The city of Elgin is moving forward with a redevelopment agreement to transform the long vacant building at 6165 South Grove Avenue into a mixed-use development in the heart of downtown. At its February 11 Committee of the Whole meeting, the Elgin City Council expressed unanimous support to move forward with the redevelopment agreement with South Grove Holdings, LLC, advancing plans for the project. The agreement is anticipated to be officially adopted at the February 25th City Council meeting. The proposed project by South Grove Holdings, LLC, would convert the historic two-story structure into 4 ground-floor commercial spaces and 6 apartments on the second floor. Total redevelopment costs are approximately $5.1 million, with up to $1.78 million in Central Area Tax Increment Financing, or TIF, assistance proposed to support the project. City officials say the agreement leverages Elgin's economic development tools to help rehabilitate vacant and deteriorated downtown properties while encouraging private investment. Mark Molloy, Community Development Director, said, "This development reflects Elgin's commitment to strengthening our downtown and preserving our historic buildings." He continued, "By partnering with private developers, we are creating new opportunities for businesses, residents, and the community as a whole," unquote. The building has experienced significant structural damage, including roof collapses in 2024 and 2025. South Grove Holdings has already invested more than $740,000 to stabilize the structure and preserve the historic facades along Grove Avenue and Spring Street. Plans call for a fully accessible building with an elevator, new building systems, and updated storefronts and windows. 3 of the 6 apartments facing Spring Street would include private rooftop patios. The redevelopment agreement includes fee waivers, expedited permit review, and milestone-based financial assistance. Construction is expected to begin later this year and be completed within 18 months of permit issuance. Located near the Fox River and downtown shops, restaurants, and public parking, the project supports Elgin's continued investment in its downtown as a hub of growth and opportunity. Read more about it at elginil.gov. When we come back, we've got 2 more of our headline stories we'd like to talk about. Top teachers are the suburban educators being recognized this year for the Teacher of the Year awardees. And we've got more news headed up for our final segment of the WRMN News.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga. My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-234-0316. 800-234-0316. That's 800-234-0316.
Welcome back to the WRMN News. I'm Dennis Green. Suburban educators among the 2026 Regional Teacher of the Year awardees. Read more about it, written by Rick West of the Daily Herald. 3 suburban educators are among 14 from throughout the state recognized Wednesday as Regional Teachers of the Year by the Illinois State Board of Education. The ISBE's annual Those Who Excel and Teacher of the Year Awards spotlight educators whose dedication, innovation, and leadership make a meaningful difference for students and school communities across Illinois, according to the news release. Suburban honorees are Seth Brady of Naperville Central High School, honored as Far West Suburbs Regional Teacher of the Year. Brady teaches social studies. Elementary teacher Rebecca Grazer of River Trail School in Gurnee, named Far North Suburbs Regional Teacher of the Year. And David Lingman, an applied technology teacher at Hoffman Estates High School, named Cook County Co-Regional Teacher of the Year. Nearly 450 educators, administrators, and other school staff also were recognized with Those Who Excel Awards in 6 categories: classroom teachers, early career educators, teachers with 1 to 4 years of experience, school administrators, student support personnel, educational service personnel, and community volunteers. Tony Sanders, state superintendent of education, said in the release, quote, Illinois educators show up for students every day with commitment, creativity, and care. The 2026 Those Who Excel awardees and Teacher of the Year cohorts represent the very best of our profession. Their work strengthens school communities and helps ensure students feel supported, valued, and inspired. The Teacher of the Year cohort includes regional teachers of the year along with statewide honorees in bilingual education, special education, early childhood, and one outstanding early career educator. Educators with at least 5 years of classroom experience are eligible to be named Illinois Teacher of the Year, the state's highest honor for teaching. Awardees learned of their selection through surprise video calls from Sanders, celebrating their impact along colleagues and school leaders, the release said. The 2026 Illinois Teacher of the Year will be announced later this spring, and all awardees will be honored at the annual Those Who Excel and Teacher of the Year Awards banquet in April on the 18th. Read more about it from the Daily Herald, where you can find it at thedailyherald.com. A finding that was used to fight climate change has been revoked. Trump's EPA ends the use of endangerment as the basis for U.S. greenhouse gas regulations. This comes from the AP, written in Washington. The Trump administration on Thursday revoked a scientific finding that long has been the central basis for U.S. action to regulate greenhouse gas emissions and fight climate change. The most aggressive move by the Republican president to roll back climate regulations. The rule finalized by the Environmental Protection Agency rescinds a 2009 government declaration known as the endangerment finding that determined that carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases threaten public health and welfare. The endangerment finding by the Obama administration is the legal underpinning of nearly all climate regulations under the Clean Air Act for motor vehicles, power plants, and other pollution sources that are heating the planet. President Donald Trump called the move, quote, the single largest deregulatory action in American history by far, while EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin called the endangerment finding, quote, the holy grail of federal regulatory overreach. President Trump called the endangerment finding, quote, one of the greatest scams in history, unquote, adding that it had no basis in fact or law. He continued, on the contrary, over the generations, fossil fuels have saved millions of lives and lifted billions of people out of poverty all over the world, Trump said at a White House ceremony. Legal challenges are certain for an action that repeals all greenhouse gas emission standards for cars and trucks and could unleash a broader undoing of climate regulations on stationary sources such as power plants and oil and gas facilities, experts say. Overturning the finding will, quote, raise more havoc than other actions by this administration to roll back dozens of environmental rules, said Ann Carson, an environmental law professor at the UCLA School of Law. Environmental groups described the move as the single biggest attack in U.S. history against federal authority to address climate change. Evidence backing up the endangerment finding has only grown stronger in the 17 years since it was approved, they said. The EPA also said it will propose a 2-year delay to a Biden-era rule restricting greenhouse gas emissions by cars and light trucks. and the agency will end tax credits for automakers who install automatic start-stop ignition systems in their vehicles. The device is intended to reduce emissions, but Zeldin said, quote, everyone hates it. Zeldin, a former Republican congressman who was tapped by Trump to lead the EPA, has criticized his predecessors in Democratic administrations, saying they were, quote, willing to bankrupt the country, unquote. The endangerment finding, quote, led to trillions of dollars in regulations that strangled entire sectors of the United States economy, including the American auto industry, Zeldin said. He continued, the Obama and Biden administrations used it to steamroll into existence the left-wing wish list of costly climate policies, electric vehicle mandates, and other requirements that assaulted consumer choice and affordability. The endangerment finding and regulations based on it, quote, didn't just regulate emissions, it was regulated and targeted the American dream. And now the endangerment finding is hereby eliminated, Zeldin said. The Supreme Court ruled in 2007 a case that planet-warming greenhouse gases caused by burning oil and fossil fuels are air pollutants under the Clean Air Act. Since the High Court's decision in a case known as Massachusetts versus the EPA, courts have uniformly rejected legal challenges to the endangerment finding, including a 2023 decision by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. Read more about it at the Associated Press. This was written by Matthew Daly and comes to us via the Daily Herald, right from the front page. Head on over to dailyherald.com to find out how you can sign up for the e-edition or have a paper delivered directly to your door. You've been listening to the WRMN News. Be sure to catch us at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Today is Friday, so that means we got a very new Dito's Night Out. From 2 to 4, head on over to our YouTube channel to watch that. I'm Dennis Green. I'll see you